Real Talk with Shawn Smith. Today's episode is Acting Talk Edition Part 2. And I have a guest here today, and he's going to introduce himself.
Hi, my name is Douglas Sexton III, and I am an actor.
Yeah. And hey, y'all notice, I know a lot of y'all, like, do you just have black people on your podcast? Man, you the first.
I'm not black.
You the first Caucasian dude on
Really?
the podcast.
Let's go.
A lot of people been saying I'm racist. And
that's hilarious.
Then on top of that, a lot of males be on the podcast. Had not been no females on the podcast yet. So,
yep, there you go, making progress.
So yeah, man. So what made you want to get into acting?
Oh, good question. So, I guess starting off the bat, I was always passionate about acting. I had that interest there, but I didn't have the guts or the courage to do it. You know, I was often nervous or insecure about how people would perceive me. In high school, I remember just watching a bunch of movies and all these inspirational actors like Denzel Washington, Jake Gyllenhaal, Mark Wahlberg, all these great actors. And I was like, man, like, it'd be so cool to have, my own movie or do those crazy things. Because I've done martial arts for over 10 years. I did Taekwondo and Wing Chun, along with some Muay Thai, kickboxing, all that stuff, right? But I just was so, I want to be in that movie. But, again, me being scared of what people would think, of just being out there, it's a lot, being on sets and acting. And I was like, I just was too coward. I was too much of a coward to go after those dreams. But then when I got into college, that's when it began to get a little more serious. And I just rekindled my passion because I just had the mentality of, I was tired of dreaming. Yeah. I was sick and tired of just having these dreams every night or just thinking about these goals, and I was just not acting on it because dreams will only be dreams so long as you let them be dreams. I think Denzel Washington said that. But I just was like, okay, I just need to have a screw it mentality and say, you know what, what's the first step that I can do to get those goals? And I just was, one thing after the next, I just went after my goals. So that's what really got me kindled in, is just not really caring what people thought, but just saying, you know what, if I go about my life caring what people think about me and the perception of me, I'll never be able to achieve the things I want to achieve. So I just was like, okay, I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. So
yeah, man. And it's a good industry. So who do you, look up to as an actor?
As an actor?
Yeah.
I would have to say it would definitely be my acting coach. His name is Edgar Arola. He's my acting coach. He's been in a bunch of movies, but he's the one who's inspired me, who's teaching me, who's instructing me, really helping me grow as an actor and even as a person too. He's a great person. He's legit, and I'm very grateful to have the honor to be one of his students. So he's definitely someone that's really inspired me to really go after this passion.
Okay, that's cool, man. So, the acting, I know it takes, a lot of times where you have to, rehearse and all that. And I know I saw Chris, so you was, working at the gas station.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was like, was you kind of, afraid when that man was, trying to pump the gun at you?
Yeah, that was it was for a little short film I was in called Spare Change. It's out now. I don't know if it's on YouTube quite yet, but I'll definitely link it on my Instagram profile when it comes out. But no, I was a little guy at the gas station working there, and then I got robbed apparently. So that's what you saw on my story. I got robbed.
I was like, what happened? Yes, I hope that he did not kill him.
No, luckily not. I'm still here.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And then one thing I know is because I also watch soap operas. My favorite soap is The Bold and the Beautiful and General Hospital. And what they will use is stunt guys, like people who, if the scene is dangerous, they will use them. I did not even know that because when you look at the episode, you didn't know that they were stunt guys.
Yeah, you can't tell because they won't let you see their face.
Yeah.
They want the audience to believe that actually is that actor, but it usually isn't because it's too much of some big actors. It's too expensive to have them do the certain stunts. I mean, unless you're Tom Cruise. In that case, you just do whatever you want, right? And like he was doing one scene where he's jumping off a building and he broke his foot and he just kept running and like he just kept playing. You know, the show must go on. But no, it's pretty interesting when you think about that.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And then I know a lot of people they had to do like kissing scenes, and I'm like, because some of these actors and actresses they be married and they had to kiss somebody in the movie and the show. I was like, how would they do that? Unless they make it look like they kissing.
Yeah, no, I mean, there are some actors that will really not kiss or do anything like that. I forget the actor's name, but he was in a movie, The Shift, recently. He played Satan, and it was by the Angel Studios. And he is like Mel Gibson. I can't remember his name, but he basically has made it known that he will not kiss or do anything like that remotely. And he actually got blacklisted for a long time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a mansion. He lost his mansion, his cars, his like everything. But he stuck to it because he said that he wanted to, because he actually got into the industry before he became a Christian. And then when he became a Christian, he had a different perspective on things that he wanted to do as an actor. And that's the conviction he made. But it's something that he said, oh, look, I'm not going to do that. Not going to do it at all. And even they interviewed him for the movie that he made. They're like, why can you play Satan? And he was like, well, at the end of the day, when I'm killing people, they're not actually dying. You know, like that was just for show. But if I'm in a bed kissing another woman, that's actually something that I'm doing. And he said, I want God to see that, my wife to see that, my kid to see that. So you have an actor who does that, who is, a devout Christian who doesn't, want to kiss other people. And then you also have like Denzel Washington, right? Yeah. And he's done crazy scenes, but he's a devout Christian, a man of God. So it's like, in that scenario where it's about kissing and intimacy, it's like you either do it or you don't. Because it's like if you try to not do it completely, it's kind of like hesitant. It's just not going to look good. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to either do it or not do it. So I think that's just the best case. Because otherwise, if you pretend to do it, it's just going to be like, okay, they're clearly not kissing each other. And it's not believable.
So I was listening to a podcast early called Boy Meets World Podcast. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you heard that show, Boy Meets World.
No, I haven't heard of it.
If you heard the spin-off, they have a spin-off called Girl Meets World. It was on Disney Channel 10 years ago.
It sounds familiar. Remind me, what is it about?
Boy Meets World is about really the father about boy in high school and middle school and high school go through life challenges. Mm-hmm. And he have a girlfriend then with his fellow mother and father. It's a good show. It came on in the 90s. They have a thing on ABC used to call TGI Father. And it was part of the line of Full House and Family Matters.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a good show. So I was listening to that interview. The lady named DJ Tanner off of Full House, Kendrick. Mm-hmm. She in Christian movies and all that because she was on episode Boy Meets World episode where she had to play a witch.
Oh, really?
Yeah. since she a Christian and all that, and they asked her would she do it again. And she says she don't think she would. But it's acting, of course. Yeah. It's not really the real person.
No. Yeah. No, yeah, it's like with that kind of stuff, and this is like a product, like I love how you talk about that, is that it's just acting. Because a lot of times, like, and again, there's certain roles that I won't do. Like, I won't play in anything like super satanic or super evil. Yeah. Just because I don't want to engage myself into that. Because on some sets, like on some like spiritual like horror movie sets, like they'll literally do rituals on sets, like literal rituals, and it's like for me, I'm like, yeah, I don't want any part of that. Like I'm good, But then at the end of the day, like if I'm playing a role where I'm like killing someone or I'm some evil person, like again, it depends on a lot of things. But for me, yeah, like you said, it's just acting. Like it doesn't, like me, if I do something, like that's not who I am. I'm playing that character, trying to make it real and bring it to the audience, but that's not who I am. Like I am myself. Like, I'm Doug. Like, if I'm playing somebody, I'm Jack, that's Jack. He's not Doug, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's a great point that you brought up.
Yeah, of course, she's CDO of Great America Family Channel. And she been Hallmark channels. And her brother name is Kirk Cameron.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They so big on their face. I'm such a big fan of her because of Full House.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
No, yeah, he's pretty good. I think, who Who is Kurt Cameron? Who is he? What was he in? I can't remember.
He was in this old show called Growing Pains back in the day.
Back in the day. I think he's been in some. Has he been in anything new? He sounds so familiar.
He been in a lot of Christian movies, and
Yeah, I think he sounds.
I mean, I can't think of the time.
I know. I'm like, I can't think of it either. He sounds so familiar. I feel like if I saw a picture of him, I'd know who he is. But no, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then I'm like, man, this is the type of business, and I can do this on the side. It don't have to be my whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But this is something that I would love to do, you know.
Yeah.
Talking to a favorite, you know, actor. So
yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Like who out of the all the actors you could think of, who would you like to do a podcast with or talk with someone?
Oh man, it's so tough. But have you heard of this actor Keke Palmer?
Keke Palmer. It sounds familiar. Where are they from? Where are they in?
Keke Palmer, she was in movies like A Kid and the Bee and then Tyler Perry movies.
Oh yes, okay, I think you're talking about.
Yeah, I would love to interview her.
Really?
'Cause she also got a podcast too.
Really? Oh, that's so funny. That's so cool. Podcast.
Yeah, because I was watching her podcast last week where she had like two of these Nickelodeon stars on there. They used to play on this show All That on Nickelodeon back in the day.
Okay, yeah, dang.
Yeah. And of course, I would love to interview a couple of Disney Channel stars and Nickelodeon stars, the ones from back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, the OGs.
Yeah, no.
No, yeah. That's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, there's a lot. Disney itself is like popular now. Like Disney is like essentially ruling the world because they're buying everything. They're big right now. I think did they make no, they didn't make. I was about to say they made a Deadpool Wolverine, but I don't think they did. I think because he roasted them a lot in the movie. But no, Disney is booming right now. It's big.
Yeah, Disney. I would say those movies back in the day on Disney Channel was good. Because they was good acting.
Yeah, like my favorite one was Pirates of the Caribbean. I love those. Like those on Disney, that was so good. I loved it a lot. Yeah, Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp, those are great movies.
Hey, you watched like High School Musical?
Yeah, I watched it too. Yeah, it was funny. Like musicals were not my favorite, I will say, but I will applaud, especially the actors for like going for it and singing.
And Jack Hamill.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Even like Hugh Jackman did one. Like he was in like a. He did a musical. I was like, man, like, because you see him like play Wolverine and stuff, like, and he's like, like killing people, like this guy, and then over here he's like singing, doing performances. I'm just like, that's acting. That's crazy. Like how you can switch completely different dynamics. But if I'm being honest, like, I would honestly love to be in a Disney movie and like have a role where I can sing and do that kind of stuff, because it's like it's different. Like I would love to be in action movies, suspense movies. Like who wouldn't love to be in them? But it's like I would also like to be in some Disney movies, you know, and like movies like that, because you got to think about who you're trying to go to, like the audience, right? Yeah. Just adults or like kids and teenagers, that kind of stuff. Because you got to think of how can I play and how can I, who am I trying to go to,
Yeah, and then of course, like I say, those stuff back in the day, they was well rated. Because nowadays, these kids today, they don't watch Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, because they feel like some of the stuff is not good. And I mean, hey, it's true. I mean, what can you say? Yeah, but that's just how it be, though. But
no, yeah, I mean, I will say, in my personal opinion, like, Disney has released some good stuff and some not good stuff, but it's just your personal preferences. I mean, not everyone's gonna like all the things that Disney has, because it's just your preference. You might like something that I don't like. I might like something that you don't like. It's just personal preferences, But it's just, that's how it is. That's how the industry works.
Yeah, that's how the industry works. Because like back in the day, competition, Nickelodeon versus Disney Channel. Mm-hmm. It's like we got the best shows because we got the best actors. We got people that's iconic.
Yeah, we got A-list actors. We got the best of the best. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, if you got great actors, you're going to probably have a great show. I mean, that's just the truth. But A-list actors are getting more and more expensive. Like, it's a pretty penny to hire them, but I mean, they're A-list actors. I mean, what do you expect,
Yeah, and then, of course, a lot of people go is to win an Emmy and to win an Oscar. Oh, what else they win? Oh, I forgot what other award show that they want to win. Not the Grammys because that's singing, bro.
No, no, yeah, it's it's just cool. Like I would love to win an Oscar one day. I mean, but that's like so far ahead
Yeah.
of where I am now. But I mean, like you have dreams, go after them, see what happens, because like you only live once, right? It's like you might as well just go after it. No regrets.
Now, one movie that I recently had watched again was the Cheetah Girls movie. That's a musical movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got through watching Cheetah Girls 1 and Cheetah Girls 2. It's such a good movie.
Really? I haven't seen it.
Yeah, diversity movie about this musical girl group, female group.
Okay.
If you heard Raven Simone.
Simone. Oh my gosh, you keep saying actors that sound so familiar, but I don't know who they are.
She used to have a show called That's So Raven where she see the future.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on Disney Channel back in the day. Then she did a reboot recently, Raven's Home, but it had ended recently.
Okay.
So.
I would say I have a very specific taste for musicals. I would say probably the one that I like the most would probably be the West Side Story. I like that one. I mean, I like the original. I haven't seen I don't want to say the new one, but I've seen the original one. And that one was pretty cool. I liked it. It was very dynamic and interesting. But the storyline and how it, beginning to the end, it was just like dramatic and everything. But I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
So what do you think? Hey, you watched the show Friends? I know it.
Yeah, Friends. Yeah.
It's popular. So what do you think of the acting?
I mean, in what way? Like just overall?
Wow.
I mean, it's funny, it's comical. I mean, it's a sitcom, so you have to look at it like this. It's like the comedy is gonna be a little, like overly dramatic a little bit because it's intended that way. You have the audience like clapping, like it's funny, like like that kind of stuff, right? And some stuff like you laugh at it because it's just stupid, and some stuff might actually be funny. You're just like, this is so dumb, but it's like, I feel like the actors like. To do comedy, I think, is one of the hardest things to do. One of it, not the hardest thing to do, but one of the hardest things. Because it's like, think about it, you have to like be able to get the audience to think that you're funny, right, and believe that you're funny. Because the thing is like, it's kind of hard. Like with sitcoms, it doesn't really like add up or matter as far as what I'm about to say. But it's like if you try to be funny in a movie, like I'll say like 50-50 or 9 times out of 10, it won't be funny because they're like he's really trying to be funny, and to me it's not funny. But it's like I think of one of my favorite comedic actors, I would say would probably be Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. And have you seen Daddy's Home?
Daddy's Home.
Daddy's Home.
I've seen it. It's been a long time.
Daddy's Home. The other guys. It's so funny because it's just how like absurd it is. It's just like you have Mark Wahlberg who's like a hothead who's just saying these like redundant crazy things, and Will Ferrell who's just like stupid and just like saying like the most like ridiculous things that just like the more like the statistical guy. But it's like it's so funny to me. But I feel like as far as what you're saying, like the Friends and the comedy, I thought it's pretty funny.
People love their show. It's such an iconic show. Of course, they did have a spinoff called Jodie. Yeah, Jodie 20 years ago, actually. But it got canceled after 2 seasons. It was like, it's not the same as Friends. Friends is an iconic show. We don't see Jodie with his own show.
It's like some things are irreplaceable. You just can't replace them.
Yeah, it's high beat though.
Yeah, it is very high beat. It's a famous show. I'll give you that. Super famous.
Yeah. And of course you have you heard that show, That 70s Show?
The what show? What is it called?
That 70s
That 70s Show?
Yeah.
No, I haven't heard of it. Is it made in the 70s?
It's actually, even though it was like off the 70s, but it was actually made in the 90s and it had ended back in 2006, but they show reruns of it. Ashley Cushion, if you heard of the actor Ashley Cushion.
I've heard of them. Yeah, I haven't seen the show. I was born in 2003.
Yeah.
So I've seen a couple 90s shows, but I didn't see a lot of 90s shows. I will say the only old show I watched was the Three Stooges. Like that one is. Have you heard of the Three Stooges? Yeah. Who has it? No, it's that show is just like I said. It's either funny to you or it's not. And to me, it's so funny. Like I love it.
Yeah, and of course they show I Love Lucy.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, it's a
Yeah,
great show.
because those shows back in the day, I would say in the 50s and 60s, they was good.
Yeah.
Wine for those shows. Even the 70s, they
Yeah.
was some good shows. I would
Yeah.
say those acting was good. Like this actor, he died the same year you was born.
Mhm.
John Withers. He
Mhm.
was on this show called Three's Company.
Okay.
Yeah, and he also was a voice actor of this cartoon called Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was the
Oh.
voice of the Big Red Clifford.
Oh, wow, I didn't know he was in there. That's so cool.
Yeah, so he
What?
passed away in '03, which was sad.
Yeah,
So,
that's pretty
man, he was the person that I was such a huge fan. He was
Mhm.
also, a comedian, all that.
Yeah.
Just like Boy Sat off of
Mhm.
Full House.
Mhm.
Boy Sat, well, of course, a lot of people, okay, he's Danny Tanner off of Full House. But when he do his stand-up comedy, he a totally different person.
Who is that guy?
Tell nasty jokes and all
Yeah,
that.
you're just like, oh my gosh, no, it's like that's a perfect example of acting. It's like that's why like I see a lot of movies of these actors. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so cool. And I see them in person, I'm like, oh my gosh, like what the heck? Like it's acting, right?
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it is that they're able to make you believe that they're this person even though they're not. It's acting.
Yeah. And then, of course, I know you had not watched the show, The Cosby Show. There was an iconic show.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby is the other person that I like, that I
Mhm.
look up to, regardless of what's going on. But I separate the art and all that. But yeah, Bill, I was like, man, I want to do the same thing as he do. He a comedian. I also want to do that too, and also act. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's something that could happen.
Yeah.
Who knows?
No, you never know. I mean, with this
Yeah.
industry, you never know. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just when your time happens. Everyone's time is different. I mean, you have actors that got, they hit their big mark when they were younger. Actors that are older, like Samuel Jackson, he became, I think, known when he was like 40, 50. Like, that's when he became recognized. So it's just, everyone's timing is different.
Yeah.
It's just whatever.
and
time.
then of course this business can be tough too, because I look at the shows now, and I would say that you don't know if if your contract gonna be renewed or not. Because the producer, I guess, is the agent, somebody call and tell you that they decide the show will come back, but unfortunately, they not going to bring you back.
That's wild. No, that's, yeah, I mean, if you're the main character, then the part just kill you off. I'm just like, that's messed up. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's like hit or miss. I mean, honestly, like with the industry, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You never know if you're going to get let go or not. I mean, you hope that you perform well enough that you don't, but it just depends on the audience. Like
Yeah.
if you were, that's why they would do like a teaser or like a short season, like even like the Office, for example. They only released like I think 5 or 6 episodes maybe, and it hit like huge, and then they just made more and more. Or if it didn't hit at all, then it's like they just went, all right, scrap it, gone. But it's just it's a hit or miss. The audience is a depiction of what happens, because that's who we're trying to impress. We're trying to show.
Yeah, because, okay, it's one show that Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm currently watching reruns of that right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they go through so many cast changes. I'm like, really? Y'all going through so many cast changes? Like, they would keep the aunts and all that, and then her boyfriend from high school.
Mm-hmm.
But he when they got through season 5, he was not really on there. Well, he was on there. He made guest appearances, and I guess a lot of people say when they gonna bring him back and all that, and they were saying he was just from the high school years. We're not gonna bring him back, but they did bring him back.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, they do that all the time. Like even they it's crazy. They brought Robert Downey Jr. back as Doom. I don't know if you've seen that or not, because he was Iron Man. Everyone knows that, but they brought him back as Doom, and that's a huge speculation. They're like, whoa, like he's back, or some people are like, okay, yay, but not just because he's not he's a bad actor or anything, but it's like it's unique and different. But they all every director, writers, whatever, like they have the reasons why they bring certain actors back, and sometimes it's really cool, sometimes it's confusing, sometimes it's like, oh great.
Yeah, and especially with soap operas, like I watch, like I say, I watch General Hospital, and I know how they do, like, recast those actors,
Mm-hmm.
especially, daytime soaps. They would, like,
Mm-hmm.
recast those actors. They would kill them off, and then they would bring them from the dead. Or if they tell these actors or actors you no longer need it, so we will recast your role, man. When people be and they just like the show The First Prince of Bel-Air. I don't
Yeah,
know if you heard the
I haven't
show.
heard of it. No.
So yeah, First Prince of Bel-Air, that's her other '90s show.
Mm-hmm.
And the aunt on there, and she also the mama, they changed her. In season 4 they had changed her, look like a totally different woman because she was
Mm-hmm.
not getting along with Will Smith, of course, who
Mm-hmm.
played nephew on the show, and it was his show. And you people be like, you be thinking that everybody on set are like friends, cast,
Mm-hmm.
everybody in the
Yeah.
cast are
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
But to tell you the truth, they not friends.
No.
So we don't know what goes on behind. We be like, why did they change her character? Why did they change her? Why did they change this person? We used to this
Yeah,
person.
because you were a jerk. No, yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too. Is like, and like even like on the social media and stuff, like you look at people and they say one thing, but then their lives reflect another thing, right? Like on
Yeah.
set, like you have actors that are like on camera, like, hey, we're friends, we're buddies, and sometimes they're like, I think a great relationship, a kind of duo would be Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart. Like they're great friends, they're super funny, they mess with each other, but they're great friends. And you have other actors that are just, they say they're cool on camera, but then off camera they're like, nah, like,
No,
we're not good.
Like, we don't like. I don't want to be a part. This is just a job for me.
Yeah, he's
You
not
be
good.
thinking that they actually friends because you look at on the show
Mm-hmm.
that they are friends. That's Tafer and Jake and Josh.
Mm-hmm.
You be thinking, well, I thought that they was actually friends, but they were just doing that for the show.
Yeah, that's acting for you. Again, it's just, I mean, perceive it to the audience or show the audience that it's like, like we're friends, we get along. It's also a marketing strategy too, where they do that a lot, like in movies where they'll be like, hey, like we're, like for instance, it was Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell for the movie Anyone But You. And they marketed or had the idea that they were dating, but they weren't really dating. Even Glenn Powell announced it afterward. He said, yeah, it was mainly just for a marketing strategy to get more of a gross income for the movie. And it worked. Like, it became a phenomenal hit. But it's like people will do that on purpose to help grow and propel their movie.
So what's strange to me though, like you would have like on certain shows, you would have like actors, even though they acting dating on the show,
Mm-hmm.
but in real life they dating your castmate.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's strange. I mean, to see my girlfriend, like, we on the same show and all that, and she had to like pretend to be in love with my castmate.
You're like, you actually love him, babe? It's just acting. It's just acting, babe. Is it? It's like, no, yeah, same thing. It's just acting. But it's like, I mean, you just gotta. It's your choice. I mean, dating your castmate. It's like, like dating an actor, you gotta kiss or do whatever, or like, and you're in that industry too. It's like, okay, like you're kissing this other guy, but it's like we're dating, but it's like that's just you have to be okay with that because that's just how it has to be sometimes, If not, then go date like someone else who's not in the industry, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Besides that, you'll be good.
I feel like that be jealousy. You like, man, because it was one show a different where it was during season 5 and the character. I guess he was dating the other female cast member. And he was like, I guess one thing everybody knows is because he kissing her on set while they was doing the scene, while they was actually doing the episode. I'm like, wow, why would you do that? You just could not wait when the cameras were not rolling.
Yeah, he's like, I couldn't wait, I had to do it now.
Like, you would think that people did not notice that you were doing.
Like, the camera's right there, buddy. Like, we're not recording for the movie.
So the other male cast member was like, had to snatch him back into character.
Oh my gosh.
I would say this because one of these days I'm gonna be a producer and a director. I'm gonna be like, of course y'all be dating, but please do not be doing that on set with y'all kiss each other.
Yeah.
Unless y'all planning
Yeah.
a boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah.
But if y'all think in real life, y'all can't be doing it because it make people like think, oh, so he's dating them at the same time.
At the same time. It's fake. It's like, you gotta be professional too. Professionalism, especially on sets with big directors. It's like, if I had a girlfriend on set, I'm not gonna be kissing her in front of the director. I'm like, wait until we get to the trailer or something, like, you know. But no, it's funny. Professionalism is definitely key.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people, it be time to like, actors, it be time to like renew their contract.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't get the money that they want, they just leave the show. I know I heard about a couple of actors had to take pay cuts, and they like, we don't want to take pay cuts.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, depends on the actor. I mean, if like, and it depends on if it's worth it or not. Like, if it's worth it and you think it has a great opportunity, then cool. But if you're having to take a pay cut, then it's probably not doing too well, or they're just being cheap. I don't know. It just depends on why they're doing it. You know, they'll do that sometimes. They'll cut you with pay, or just cut you at all, or completely. It just depends on a lot of things. So I mean, you know.
Yeah, that is something I tell you. This business is really tough, And I know that people, what will you say to people that want to get into this industry?
That's a lot. It's a good question. It's a good question. I would say, and for me is the biggest thing too that I'm working on still, is being patient. That's the biggest thing. Like, honestly, like, that's the biggest thing is being patient, but also working for it, because it's not just going to be handed to you. No one's going to be like, here's their answers, here's a success, take it. No, it's not going to happen like that. Like, you have to work for it. Like you have to come up with a plan. Like, for me, when I was like, okay, I am ready to go for this, I need to figure out what to do. The first thing I did, go to acting classes, learn how to act, learn if this is something that you want to do. Right, some people just go off and start auditioning, and I'm like, unless you're like Christian Bale, who never had to go to acting classes, I don't know if he ever did or not, I don't know if it's true or not, then fine, do that, you're good. But it's, for me, I had to go to acting classes. I'm still going to acting classes because I think it's essential for an actor to learn. Yeah. Then after that, I got my headshots, and then I got my resources. I use apps like I use Backstage, I use Casting Networks, I use Actors Access. Those are apps you can buy and like do subscriptions to that will give you a lot of a lot of auditions, like a lot of like opportunities to audition for these roles, or like showcase to you what you want to audition for, right? And but I would say to the audience who's listening is that you have to be determined, you have to be patient, you have to be a hard worker, because this industry will eat you alive. I mean, it will. And I'm barely into this. I've just started. Like, I started, not too long ago, but a little bit enough time to understand a little bit more of what I'm getting into now, especially talking to other people. But I would say hard work and determination is definitely key. Patience, and also connections is the biggest thing. One of the biggest things, because there are multiple times where I've been on set and I have talked to certain people and just befriending them, like just saying, hey, what's up, man? Like, being friends with them and seeing like how cool they are as a person, and also just getting to know them and making these connections, talking to the DPs, writers, directors, actors, whatever, right? And by doing that, I've had this happen to me multiple times where they have reached out to me and said, hey, like, we want you to be in this project, or hey, I want you to audition for this. Like, I was in a commercial or like it was a spec ad for a commercial for a chicken restaurant. And the DP on that project, he called me on Instagram one day, and he was like, hey, like, I want to, have you be part of this project. We saw you had the fit, and had, I was wearing, it's funny, for one of the photos I had in my Backstage, I had like these aviator glasses on, and he was like, I like that, I want to call him. And that's literally all it took, and also me knowing him on another set. But connections is key, because you could have all the talent in the world, if you don't know people or know how to communicate or know how to like get these connections and work through it, then it's still possible. You can for sure still get into the industry, but it's going to take you a lot longer if you don't really have those connections and know people that can help guide you and show you where you need to get to. Because it's also like humbling yourself, is knowing, okay, like, I want to get into this career in this industry, but I don't know everything about it. I'm still learning, and I'm still trying to get into it. So it's talking to people and getting to know that, you know. So that's what I'd say is just connections, being determined, and being patient, because I've sent over probably like 200 auditions probably, and like so the thing is like, let's just say in this sense, you can see I'll send like 100 auditions, right? And then I'll get like maybe 10 to 15 callbacks, and out of those I'll get maybe 2 or 3 roles, maybe 4 or 5 if I'm lucky to actually act in, right? And that's just the way it is. You audition after audition, they'll be like, it was like the process like this. It's like no, maybe no, yes. No, yes, okay, sure, no. And it's a cycle. Even these big actors, they go through it all the time. Like, they'll get no's all the time.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I have to say, is what I've learned so far. And I still have a long way to go, but I'm very excited, is that you have to be determined in that no matter how many times you get knocked down, no matter how many times you fail or don't get an audition, you keep going, because if you don't have the intensity to be able to take a hit, like, it's a very tough industry, you know. If you don't have tough skin, you're just not gonna make it.
Yeah. And then I know it's tough to remember lines, you know. You have to we do rehearsal every day.
No, yeah, with studying lines, I have been taught this as well, and it's helped me a lot, is that a lot of people, what they'll do is and I'm guilty of doing it too sometimes, you know, when you're under pressure and like you have a day, because sometimes like casting directors are hit and miss, but sometimes, like, as far as like liking them, because a lot of times they'll send an audition or like a request, say, hey, I want to audition for this role, and then what they'll do is they'll like say, hey, like, they'll accept and say, okay, we want you to audition, and they'll give you 24 hours sometimes to send in 2 pages worth of lines, or 48 hours to send in 4 or 5 pages. It just depends. So when it comes to the lines, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm freaking out. I need to know these lines to send the audition or go to the audition in person. But as far as understanding lines and memorizing, like, I would say the best thing for me that's helped me on like know my lines is understanding the scene. Is because a lot of people, they'll just memorize lines and just know it as it is. But when you study, when you study, this works too. It works beautifully. Like, when you study the scene so intensely, like, you try to know everything you can about that scene, about the character, the setting, how they're feeling, how you can relate to them. Like, literally, like, becoming that scene, becoming that character, like, living in that moment, then the lines will just come to you gradually. And, like, literally the last thing I'll do is I'll memorize. Memorization is the very last thing that I'll do. Because if you just focus on memorizing, when you're doing a performance, you're acting, or your scene, it would come off as bland, like cold, like just like, you know, like stale, like you won't have any emotion to it, right? If you just think about the lines, not just the character and the expressions. You know?
I tell you, that's the tough thing. People think it's easy.
Nope. They're lying to you if they're telling you that.
Yeah, the line, you really had to memorize it, though. That's why it's very important to, like, go over it every day. So you get it into your mind.
Every day. It's something you have to invest in. It's not like you can just look at it one day and be like, all right, I looked at it for 2 hours. Okay, we're good. And then just go to no. Like, you have to look at like literally, I will, if I have an audition or I have a role, like I have some gigs coming up, I'm literally looking at them every single day, like studying the crap out of them, just like doing my research outside of the lines. Like, this character, like, what if this character is like, you know, a depressing guy, like, how do depressing people usually go about their life? Someone with trauma, how do they go about this stuff? I look it up, I research it, I talk to people. Like, you have to invest in the scene. And it's like, it's a thing, like, with this career, the acting, like, if you're not fully invested into it, then it's just like, you can't, like, if you want it to be a hobby, go do like some smaller stuff, you know, stuff that you can show up to that's the same thing over and over again. But it's like, if you really want this to work, like, you have to pour yourself into it. You have to.
Yeah, and of course they had people, the extras background, had them in the background of the movies and shows and all that. And that's the fun part, and I think that's something good to start out being a extra.
Yeah, no, extras and background is more of like, there's not as much intensity. I mean, there's still intensity that you can have being on set, but it's like, being an extra, like, I have so much fun. Like, I remember I was on a set, it was actually, I can't say the project the name, but I was on set with an actor. His name was Jesse McAuliffe, I think is what his name is. He's been in a bunch of movies and stuff. But I mean, I was an extra and I was having fun. I was talking to the other guys, like we were eating, we were just hanging, chilling out, and I was just like,
it like pretend eating?
no, like actually eating, like no, like we weren't pretend eating. It was we were no, that's funny. No, it's like we were actually filming in Capernaum Studios. That's where they filmed The Chosen. But no, it's like we took lunch and we were eating. And I was just having fun getting to know people because, like, there wasn't the intensity of I had to know my lines. Like, I still, like, when I was on set, when they said Ashley, like, I was still playing the character, being expression, doing what I need to do. But it's like when you're an extra in the background, like, I think, especially as a beginning actor, and I'm still, like, a beginner actor, I think it's great to start doing stuff like that. Like, you have to limit yourself and say, okay, I'm not going to do as much extra work anymore. But when you're just starting off right off the bat, like, do extra work, do background work. It's fun, like, because it's like, I mean, you meet people, you have fun, you can try different costumes. Like, some extras, like, you can get on some big sets, like huge sets with huge actors, and it's like, sometimes all I need is a picture, and that's it. You're like, all right, you're good, let's go.
Well, as long as they don't get star stuff.
Yeah, no, they're like no, like you have you're white, you have blonde hair, red hair, whatever. It's like, okay, you're good, let's go. And I'm like, all right, cool, like that's it. Gotta be on set. But no, it's like as you get bigger roles, like supporting, lead, day player, like the intensity becomes more and more because like the camera is on you, and like you are like in that moment, the movie is like or the show, short film, whatever is like right on you, and you have to like you have to like show the audience that you are in the moment. And if you mess up, they're like, okay, cut, do it again, or you're gone.
Yeah. So yeah, when people was asking the difference between supporting actors and support lead actors and supporting actors and all that.
So an extra in the background is what we said. A day player is like, for instance, I'm a day player in a film that's coming up, and I'm only needed for literally 1 day. So hence the day player. It's like day players are needed for 1 day, maybe 2 days at most. Like they're very small characters, but they have like lines and they talk, and that's where they are. Supporting is more of like supporting could be like. They're definitely a star in the show. They have the lines. They're a great character, but they're not the main attraction of the show. A lead would be like what is it like in I don't know, like an Iron Man, right? Robert Downey Jr. He's the lead, right? He's the main character. It's all about him. Iron Man, blah blah. And then you have other actors that would be like the guy who played War Machine. I mean, he would technically be a lead, but it's like other actors that were in it, like Happy, right? Mm-hmm. He's not a lead, he's a supporting, right? He was a crucial person in those movies, but like he was a supporting character. So it's like it's just a different dynamic of the characters in the show. But each one of them, like people like supporting characters, some like leading actors. And the cool part is that sometimes the supporting actors have more of a difference than the leading actors. It just depends on how it's written, what they're trying to express with the movie. Like there are some movies that there would be a character, I can't remember what it's called, but there was a character, he like didn't have any lines, and he was just there. He still was a crucial part in the film, but he didn't have any lines, and yet he was able to express so much of the character. And body language is such a huge part that goes into that, is that you can say nothing, but it's like you can look at someone in their body language and see what they're doing, and you can tell a lot by how like they're doing. Like if like those silent films that people were watching today, like my instructor was telling me about this, and he was like, silent films are such an amazing thing because a lot of actors, what they'll do is they'll focus so much on just lines and they're saying these things, but the body language is a huge part. Because if I'm saying something and I'm like yelling, but I'm just like this yelling, like it's not gonna be like, I'm not gonna believe you. Like your body language will speak before you start, or will react, and it'll show before you start speaking. So I mean, to answer your question, go back to leading and supporting. I mean, yeah, there's background, extra, day player. There's reoccurring too. Reoccurring is pretty nice. You can obviously reoccurring in the show.
Yeah, reoccurring. You can they will have you on some episodes.
Yeah, maybe in this episode, couple episodes, back in this episode. Yeah. But recurring.
And what's so good by you can do as many other shows too, because I know if you like a contract on that other show, if you like the main character of that show, I don't think they're gonna let you do other shows because of the hours and all.
Yeah, I mean, when you do one show, it takes a long time to film. Like obviously there's seasons, like multiple hours with the filming, so it's like, and if you're the lead character, you're like you're the main, like you're on the film like 90% of the time, and it's like that's why like what you can do is you'll be in a film or like a TV show, and then when you have like a 2-month break, then you can go and film a movie if you want. Because like the thing is, if you're filming multiple shows, it's just too much. Like it takes too much time because you have to be on set for like months. Like they'll be like, hey, we're gonna go film in Atlanta. You gotta be there for like a month or two. Then go to LA and then film there. Then go to Texas and film there. And it's like you gotta go multiple. Like you can't just like I'm gonna go take a break, go back home. Like you can like if like you got a day break, go fly back to your family real quick and have a day with them. Then cool, do that. You know. But oftentimes it's like you have to be on set. Like you are living there. But like that's cool. Like they give you a trailer and everything, food, everything. You know.
Yeah, 16 hours.
16 hours. It's a lot, but I mean, like if you're doing what you love, like it doesn't seem like work.
Yeah.
Like you love it and you do it all the time. You know.
Yeah, man. This is one thing about it. Of course, some actors and they like we don't think we can do this no more. We rather do movies and all that because we feel like this show is taking up our time.
Yeah, it's just with some actors and sometimes I can understand that too. Is that some people if they do the same show for like 10 seasons, like that's like that. Thinking about it, like 10, like each season, like release one season, it takes like a year or two for it to be for the next season to be released, right?
See, this is what I remember when I was young. I will never forget. I was like, oh, so they must be filming the show the day of and releasing it that night. I was so naive. And I was like, one of my family members told me, no, they filmed the episode 2 months ahead or 3 months ahead. Yeah. I didn't know that. I was like, I thought they just filmed it and then it's for 30 minutes.
30 minutes. All right, send it right there. The editor must be like sweating. He must have no life then. That poor editor is like to get the film, all of it, like an hour or more film. He's just like, okay, here we go, and then. But no, it's like like some actors like because films like don't take as long as TV shows, like I said. So if you can knock out like 2 or 3 films like in probably a year. Or maybe even more in that year, rather than doing a TV show, which probably takes 6 months sometimes.
Yeah.
So you just have to call it and be like, okay, like, is this TV show worth investing that amount of time rather than doing these films? Like that's why you have to play with it, and your agent will help out a lot more as well.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, I don't want to be a sitcom star, but I would prefer to be a sketch comedy star. A variety where I play like variety of characters because that's more fun than trying to play just a one character. Now, if I was to guest star in our show, I don't mind doing that as long as I'm not doing it like, what do you call it, every week?
Every week.
Yeah.
I mean, it just you have your preference, and that's the beauty of it is that no one can force you to do anything. Yeah. Like if you, unless you sign a contract, that's a different story. Yeah. But like as an actor, you get to choose what films you want to be in. I mean, if I don't want to be a part of a film, I just won't audition for it. You know, I'm like I don't want to be a part of this film. Okay, that's fine. I'll just audition for the other film. Like there's always gonna be work, and people are always like, it's too late to jump into the industry. It's too late. Like I'm too old, or it's like the other films I liked are already done. It's like, bro, like there'll always be entertainment. Always.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that they feel like the industry had changed after the pandemic had took place.
Yeah, in a lot of ways it has.
It just feel like on network TV used to be like 22 or 24 episodes, but they cutting those episodes down to 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, I did notice that. I don't know if that's the main reason. It could be a lot of just other reasons, but
everybody on video, I would say a lot of people screen the show. And its attention span. Compared to back in the day, everybody would glue their eyes to the TV set. And that's how come that show would get 22 or 24 episodes.
You know, now that you mention that, that makes sense a lot. Because, this stinking generation and the generation before us, like, in a lot of ways we're screwed, honestly. And I say that because I will literally watch a TikTok, and it'll have some guy to explain something really cool. And I'm like, I'm already interested. But then guess what? It's a half video, and under it is some guy playing stinking like some video game, like Minecraft or Fortnite or stinking like a race car game. And I'm just like it's to catch their attention. It's to catch attention because they can't focus on this guy talking and saying these things about this, whatever he's talking about. And because instead they need this stinking dude playing this video game in order to get your attention. I'm like, that's ridiculous. So now that you mention that, that does make sense. And it's kind of sad, but it's true, to be honest.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm like, great, getting into the industry and they can't even focus on one scene. Like, okay, action, skip. Oh, sweet, I'm paying attention. I'm like, bruh.
Yeah. Netflix, of course, is on, and everybody want to get on Netflix for their shows and all that. And Netflix, I feel like they cut their show season shorts compared to networks like CBS and ABC. They were all, and that's why I prefer to have my shows on the network versus the streaming service.
Yeah.
Because if my show that good, I deserve more episodes, like 22.
22, yeah. No, yeah, I think it just depends. Like, there's some shows, like, I love this show back in the day, and this still, they're making spin-offs of it, but it's The Walking Dead. I love that show so much.
Yeah.
And I know it's old. People are like, I hate it because it got more about the people or whatever. I'm like, whatever, shut up. I don't care. I like the show. It has good characters. It's an older show, too, so they're not adding a bunch of just crazy random stuff. They're trying to get people's attention. Like, it's genuinely good. But it's like some episodes, like, I think 22 episodes, maybe 16 or 17 episodes per season. I'm like, that's 45-minute, hour episodes, 22 episodes a season. I'm like, get the popcorn, let's go. I'm like, I'm ready, you know? But no, it's like you said, it's like a lot of people do want to be on Netflix because it's such a high expansion. Everyone has Netflix. Everyone knows about it. Everyone has it. So it's like people want to be on it because it's such a huge popular platform. But it's a good point what you're saying is that if you want to, have more episodes, then Netflix may not be the best option. I mean, I wouldn't say it's not the best option, or it isn't the best option, but I mean, it's just you have to play with what works best for you at the time,
Yeah. And of course, they go by people, nowadays with these production companies, they go by budget cut. They will have to cut a certain cast member out.
Yeah, because they're getting too expensive. They're like, you're expensive, or you're just not worth our time. And you're like, okay, sorry, I was going.
And that happened back in the day, like this show Full House. They had to end it out the season 8 because it was higher cost production. I mean, they had more cast members on the show. 8 of them, I think, 8 or 10 of them. I mean, that's super sauce.
Yeah, that's expensive. Daily rates, and they gotta pay for the set. They gotta pay for food.
Yeah.
They gotta pay for a statement. Yeah, that's expensive.
Yeah, everybody married, and they back in the day, they used to write letters to the network to keep the show on. The network say, no, we can't do it.
Nope, we can't afford it. Nope, we're good. We got 4 seasons. We're good. Got enough money to last.
8 seasons, 192 episodes. 8
seasons. 8 seasons don't exist anymore. It's super rare.
Yeah.
Unless it's Game of Thrones or wait, is it Game of Thrones 8 seasons? I don't know. That's so many seasons. Or some animes. Oh my gosh, animes have the longest seasons. It's stinking
really?
it's some will have stinking I heard one anime show has stinking 60 seasons. I'm like,
what? That's
60?
like a soap opera.
I'm like, it's taking me years to watch this. They're not. I think they're long episodes too. I'm like, oh my gosh, people love anime because it's endless. It's writing and drawing that you can just it's endless possibilities of what you can do. You don't have to pay to be on set. It's just drawings.
Yeah, man, that's why a lot of people, the voice acting thing is good.
Yeah, voice acting is good.
Cartoon. But certain networks, I would say certain networks, they don't do good with cartoon. What they do, we gonna get a cartoon for a season, that's it. We not gonna do 5, 6 seasons. Not our biggest hit. We not that good in the cartoon thing, so we just not gonna put our money on it.
Yeah, no, it just depends, I guess, on how popular they get or whatnot. I mean, some cartoons do very well. Other
Family
cartoons
Guy and the Simpsons.
Family Guy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, is that still going?
Yeah. And the ratings I'm looking at, I mean, these ratings is pretty bad. Cause being on the network, they would cancel a lot of shows. They
gosh, that's crazy to me. But I mean, Family Guy is pretty funny though. I mean, it has this weird moments where I'm just like, what the heck is this? It's weird. I just skip it or just don't watch it. I'm just it's just weird. But it's funny. People like it because it's adult humor. Who typically watches more TV on those platforms? Adults.
Yeah.
And that's why they like it, because it's funny, because it has adult humor. You know, Adult Swim.
Yeah.
You know?
And then, of course, The Simpsons been on.
Yep,
and
Simpsons.
Been on since 1989.
That's crazy. Like what? Like it's almost like more than 40
I
years.
would say
Wow.
I prefer watching the old episode of The Simpsons. I don't like
Yeah.
the new ones. I can't sit there and watch the new episodes
No,
of The
it's
Simpsons.
like with some cartoons, like I'll give an example, like SpongeBob. I know it's like, like I'm just like I love SpongeBob. Like, judge me if you want. Like, I grew up on that. It's actually funny. My dad. So it's funny because people were like, "You watch SpongeBob growing up?" Like, no. I didn't watch SpongeBob growing up. My dad watched SpongeBob while I happened to be in the room as a kid, and I just happened to be there and watch it with him. And I was like, "Oh, I like that. I want to keep watching it." But no, it's like what they did originally, like the older seasons, like those were good. Those were funny because they had a lot of adult humor in it. Like, and it flowed well. They weren't trying too hard. But I think after the writer died, or whoever created SpongeBob died, like they made it more over the top, too funny. Like they're trying to make it like it's obnoxious is what I mean to say. It's just like it's not like it's more appealing to kids, like little kids. And I'm like, and I get that, like now they're making it more of like a legit kid cartoon. But like back in the day, it was a cartoon, but it was intended for adults, really.
Oh, SpongeBob was intended for on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, like not complete. Like it wasn't like completely bad stuff. Like there were parts that were meant for kids, of course, because it was a cartoon on Nickelodeon. But they threw adult humor in there to get all the audience, and that's why it was such a hit.
Yeah, it was like the cartoon Rugrats.
Yeah.
Rugrats, it's a good car, and they did a reboot, and suck.
Yeah, some reboots just suck. Like, I like SpongeBob, I liked Phineas and Ferb, that one was good.
Oh, yeah, Phineas and Ferb was the cartoon.
Yeah, when they build the, like, inventions, whatever, and then Candace kept trying to get them in trouble, but they never got in trouble, ever. And then even it was funny too, like I watched this old show, like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Well, see, look, I grew up with that Cartoon Network.
Yeah, no, it was weird. Like I didn't realize that he talked when I looked back at it. I was like, all I remember was him freaking out. He's like,
I did, you know,
that's all he did.
Definitely gonna have to start back watching the reruns. See, once
So
I
funny.
get, this is me. People don't know this about me. Once I get tired of a show and I had not watched it for a while, I get back into it. Watch the rerun.
You might as well. I mean, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, go back to it. You know, watch it. Like I do this sometimes too. I'll go back and I'm like, oh, even I'll just look for a new show. I'm like, what am I gonna watch? I'm like, I've seen this show a million times. Or I look at the show and it's new. I'm like, I'll watch the show I've seen a million times. You know, I mean, why not? I mean, I probably should watch more newer shows than I have been, but I'm just like, I know the old shows are good. I like it. Let's watch it. Why not?
The wine, really, you look at the show now, they really don't have no theme song. They just cut to the...
Cut straight to it. You know? Yeah, no, those theme songs are so good. Like SpongeBob, Phineas and Ferb, all those other shows, like, there's so many of them, but it's like...
hey, you watched that cartoon Dover the Sport?
Yeah, I watched
Look, I'm not gonna lie, I would make fun of Dover the Sport.
No, a lot of them were just like weird. Like even I'll say even like sitcoms. Like they had their like their singing, like their little things. Like what was it? I watched have you ever seen Kicking It? The sitcom Kicking It with Leo Howard. It was about Taekwondo, the sitcom in the dojo.
I think so. I don't even remember.
It was a long time, but I like their theme song.
Oh yeah, it was on Disney.
Yeah,
SD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those old shows that I watched, like those were funny. And then Lab Rats, I like Lab Rats. Lab Rats was good.
Yeah.
But like a lot of those theme songs in older sitcoms were good. I liked it. I was like, that's
Nemo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Look, and they to do a reboot, a live action.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that they're doing live action. I don't know how it's gonna work. I mean, that's what a lot of live actions. I'm just like, it's either a hit or miss. It's either good or it's just.
But what about the Lion King? I had not yet watched the live.
The live, you haven't seen it? It was good. I mean, it's not as good as the original. I'll say that. I mean, you can't beat the original. The original is perfect. But I mean, the live action, it wasn't horrible. But it's just like, again, it's live action. It doesn't have the same. You can't reminisce with it as you do with the original, the cartoon. You know.
Yeah, man. And they was telling me, a friend of mine was telling me they gonna be. No, that was Shawn told me that they gonna do a Toy Story movie.
Yes, Toy Story 5. I heard about that. They're actually doing. Yeah, I heard that it's about when a kid gets into electronics. Funny enough, I'm like, of
Oh.
course. And then he throws away the toys, and they're like, "Oh no, play with us." And he's like, "Sorry, I'm playing on my phone." I'm just like, this generation's doomed.
Yeah, they not into toys. I mean, what's the point of keeping Toys R Us open?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, at this point, my kid. Whenever I have my kid, I'm just like, man, like I'm gonna do my very best to give him toys. Like I'll say, like my boy is gonna definitely like Transformers. I love Transformers. I still love Transformers to this day. Like those action figures were like the best action figures any boy could ever have. Like it was just so much fun.
Yeah.
Like I loved it.
I would have like Toy Story toys like Woody.
I had Woody too. Mm-hmm. Yep, I had Woody.
They
Buzz.
did this though. I used to. Well, I like Bunny, so I would have the Bunny toy and Hercules toy.
Yeah, and yep. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I also heard that they're releasing another Shrek too. Right?
Oh,
you hear about
really?
that?
Oh, yeah. I didn't know about
No, I heard that they're releasing another Shrek. I was like, oh my gosh, like it's been years. Like I was saying, I'm excited to see Toy Story, but I really want to see Shrek. Like I have no idea what it's about. I have no idea how it's gonna be, but I'm like.
But a lot of people, I remember Shrek 2 came out, I think, 10 years ago. And a lot of people say they like the second one better than the first
Oh,
one.
yeah, the second one was phenomenal. It was so good. It was so funny, too. No, it was good. The third one was okay. The fourth one, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't see the third or fourth one.
The second one was just a phenomenal.
I was just like tune out, and then I guess at that age, I got to like reality shows.
Yeah, you're like, Shrek, okay, I have my time to watch reality shows about drama.
Yeah, I'm just like, these people, though, they must be scripted for them to be acting like that on TV.
You're like, I don't want none of that. Goodbye.
Because I thought about doing reality, and I'm just like, I don't think I want to get on reality show where I had to constantly fight people for nothing.
Oh my gosh, reality shows. Like, so I went down to Miami, Florida, and to visit one of my brother's churches. Not my actual brother, like a brother in our church, to visit one of the churches down there in Miami, Florida. And I went to his brother's household, and they were watching like a dating reality show, and I was like, "What the?" Like a bunch, like these grown men watching like the guy on the couch was just eating popcorn, just like so invested. I'm just like, I was over here, I'm just like, you're watching this like about drama about them, like it was like a dating reality show, and I was like, these shows are so stupid, like, but. They got me so hooked.
What
like,
is it, The Bachelor?
No, it was not The Bachelor. It was I think it was, I don't remember what, it might have been The Bachelor, but basically they had this couple, and what happened was that they had couples that wanted to engage, and the other person didn't want to engage with them. Like they had one couple, let's say the girl wanted the other person to propose, and the guy was like, I'm not ready to propose. The guy was like, I want to propose, and the girl was like, I don't want to propose. So the whole idea of this show was to put other people with other people and see if they had a better fit, and see if they matched up better. And it was so dramatic because this one girl was like this other guy was talking to the girl, which is what he was supposed to do because that was his partner that they tried to pair him up with, and she was losing her mind. She was like, I can't believe that you're with her, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, woman, like this is why you guys are on the show. And like I was on the couch like raging with the other guys. I'm just like,
don't tell me it's love.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know, but I was just like, I thought it was so funny because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm hooked on this show now, and we're all like 3 grown men on the couch in some random apartment in Miami, just like this, like losing our minds over this stupid show about these people dating or like getting interest. I'm like, no, she did it. He did not do that. What? Next episode, come on, we gotta go. And I'm just like, what am I like? I'm looking at myself like, who am I becoming? I'm just like, what is this? But no, I thought you said that.
And a lot of people, they love this Kardashian show.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like Kardashian.
I'm sorry, I might get canceled. I don't like they're funny. I'll give them that. They're funny, but I'm just like, I can't stand watching the show. It's just, I think my mom watches it or someone else watches it, and I'm just like, I just can't stand it. Like, it's just like, they're like aliens. It's like they just don't know how to live normal lives. And I'm just like, it's so funny when they're trying to. I'm just like, oh my gosh,
But
like,
I
that was
was
so
answer.
funny.
So I was watching the Teen Top video. They Kim Kardashian daughter
Mm-hmm.
was in the Lion King musical thing,
Mm-hmm.
and she was, oh, I just can't wait to be king. I was like, really?
You're like, stop. Like, you don't stop. Like, you already are so, like, you got everything. Stop.
So
Like,
she got that part because of who her parents was. Like,
that reminds me of something. So a lot of things will happen in this industry, and a lot of things that people will know is that they're like when you're auditioning, right, for a role, right, and you're trying to go for something, a lot of times there'll be a lot of nepotism, and that's just the way it is, right?
yeah.
It's so unfortunate because I'm like, dude, like I auditioned, or like not like let's just say someone hypothetical. I think I heard about the story is that someone auditioned for a role and they were phenomenal, but they gave the role to their niece or their cousin or whatever because they wanted them to have the role and they didn't do as good as the other actor would have done, and it's like when it comes to that, I'm just like, that's so like, why would they do that? I mean, I get it, they want to help them out, but I'm like, think about the film. You have professional actors that are trying to do these amazing roles and trying to make it, and you're not giving it to them because you want to have your family member be in this role. And I'm like, look, I love you, bro. You're my family, but no,
it's not gonna happen with me.
no. You can be an extra. Get in the back.
Extra, the old people deserve for the ones they deserve to have that role.
Mm-hmm. Like unless they're able to do it well. Like I'll give you an example. Like Adam Sandler, he has his wife in a couple of his films, and she's pretty funny. Like she does it pretty well. I mean, she's not like a main actress with her, but she has small roles. But she plays what role she has pretty funny. Like she does a pretty funny job at it. You know, great job at it. So I'm like, okay, like unless it's like you're able to make it work, then cool. If not, you're just throwing them in there just because. Then I'm like, no, come on.
Yeah.
Like you have to think. You know?
Yeah, I mean, one thing about these bids, and of course with shows, they will do like pilot episodes.
Mm-hmm.
The seeing people will know is, why did you change out this cast member? What happened?
Mm-hmm.
No, y'all changed out the mama and all that. They did not work out.
And you're like, wasn't she black? And you're like, what happened? You're just like,
the internet trolls. By the way, internet trolls.
Yeah, literally completely just changed the script. It was like, what the heck happened? Like, it was that bad? Oh my gosh. Like, they completely changed the character, everything. Like, oh my gosh. Like, no, it was funny. They, in Iron Man, actually, in Iron Man, they changed War Machine. You know, they had original actor, a different guy that played War Machine in Iron Man 1. Iron Man 2, it was the other actor, completely different. And I was like, man, I guess people just didn't like him, or they just didn't work out. Like, I don't know what happened, but it's like they completely changed him. I was like, that's not War Machine. Who is that guy? But now, like, he was a War Machine that everyone knows. That he played through all the Marvel movies.
This business is very tough out there. Especially if you find you're an actor and then you just got an announcement from the network that your show will be coming to an end. And of course, some actor be freaking out. Like, what I'm going to do? This is my whole life.
Yeah. You're like, no. That's why, like, you don't put all your eggs in one basket. I mean, even though you might have a great show that you're doing, like, keep looking, keep auditioning, keep, dipping your toes in other industry or like other, businesses or other, like, that's why even like an actor, like a lot of actors, what they'll do is they'll start their own business, like right now it's like the beginning actors, like a lot of people what they'll do is they'll get ahead of the game and like do real estate or whatever. You can do that, that's fine. It's good to get ahead of the game, but it's like, for me, like, I want to invest everything into acting, and that when I cross that bridge, okay, like, I need to start doing real estate or doing these other things or doing, like, starting my own business, like, because that's what a lot of actors do. Like, Mark Wahlberg, he has his own clothing brand.
That's what you do. Put all you can be a singer, you can be this star, you can, like, be, what they call, you can own your own restaurant. Trust me, I know an actor. Her name is Kenny, and she do acting, and she a reality star. She on her own restaurant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I was like, man, I definitely want to be like that. And, of course, a lot of people want to get, Taylor Swift and Beyonce on their show. But, you probably going to get a no from them because they big. So.
No, that's why you're like, no, it's like you just, if you're persistent enough and you work hard enough, like, anything's possible. Like, you have to go for it, right? Because it's like, if I want to be on a show with, like, I would love to be in a movie with, like, Denzel Washington, Mark Wahlberg. I'd love to be in a show with, I think John Berthel, and then, what's the other guy's name he played Thanos? He was in, I forget his name, but I would love to be in a movie with him. Like, there's so many other actors that I'd love to be in a movie with, but it's like, you think, oh, it's too big of an expectation. It's like, no, like, the dreams are endless. Like, if you want something, go for it. Like, no one's stopping you.
Yeah,
right? Like,
you have to keep going regardless what other people saying.
Yeah, who cares?
Including family members too.
Yeah, they're like, is that okay? Like, cause like a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll be like, it's not like when you go after a dream like this or any dream with whatever you're doing. If you want to be a business owner, an entrepreneur, whatever you want to do, right?
I say go for it. Yeah,
cause like you have to be able to go for it. Like, it's not safe, it's not secure. Like the smart thing to do for me, you'll probably get like a 9-to-5 job, be there, make lots of money, and just live off of that, right? That's the smart thing to do. But I'm like, I don't want to. That's not my dream. Going after this dream, it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't want to be doing that all your life and then retirement. And that is what my mindset is right now. Of course, I've been trying to get jobs and all this. And I'm like, I'm trying to go back into the school thing. I'm like, no, not for me. The school thing, not for me. I want to get a job at a news station, a radio station, because I enjoy doing that. I actually enjoy doing the radio.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I actually enjoy it. But I'm also, I know a lot of people don't know it's this, but I'm also going to be I'm going to be working on tuning my country singles, so I'm getting back into the singing thing. So get the singing thing and tied. So this be my first 2 new country singers.
Dude, let's go! I can't wait to see it.
Country music is popular.
Even Post Malone, he's doing country music now.
Like,
Post. I saw that. Yeah,
but I was so mad when Post Malone had returned the list of cities he gonna be in. He did not say Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, it's Austin. Like, was it Austin? Like everyone's like Matthew McConaughey lives in Austin. Glenn Powell just moved to Austin. Like, everyone's like okay, Austin's cool, but I'm like, Dallas is where it's popping. Like, why is everyone they're just trying to like make Austin look good? I'm just like, whatever. Like, come on to Dallas, man. Like, Dallas is
Dallas, and then you have people like in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, there's a lot of great people. I mean, you know, it's just it's so funny to me. I'm like, you never hear about any actors moving to Dallas, and I'm like, maybe because it is more the popular place in Dallas or Texas, because it's like a city. You know, all like Houston, San Antonio, Austin, like they're more.
And man, it would definitely be great to go to his concert. Of course, I've recently been to concerts like gospel artists and all that, Kurt Franklin and all that. But shoot, I was almost on the edge of going to a Taylor Swift concert.
but real Swiftie.
But real song in her music.
They're like, don't do it, man. Don't do it. No, like I literally know, like, she had a performance in Dallas. I know so many people that went, like, it was mostly all girls. Like, literally, I had a friend, she said that when they went, like, I knew someone who worked at the stadium who was hosting or whatever, and they said literally the whole stadium was, like, shaking. Like, the whole building was shaking.
Yeah. So, it's this dude named Jalen. He actually be dancing Arlington by the Parks Mall, and he was on the radio version of my show. And he gonna be on the podcast. Taylor Swift knows him. Taylor Swift gave him her hat.
Really?
He was looking like. I wish Taylor Swift would know his name.
Shoot, I'm like, like, I'm right here. Like, no, like, she is the most popular artist, I think, right now.
Yeah, I don't think. Do you see her in the last interview she did? Because I don't think she gonna do no more interviews.
Yeah, I didn't see the last interview. No, what happened in the last interview?
I think because I always look at, okay, this celebrity is big, I don't think they do interviews no more.
Oh, yeah. No, she doesn't need to. She's so stinking. Yeah, like, she is so big right now, especially since she's dating that one football player.
Travis.
Yeah. No, it was, oh my gosh, okay. So at the Super Bowl, it was so funny. It was so funny. Like, we were literally, like, trying to look at it. The amount of times that the camera panned Taylor Swift.
Every time.
It was like 17 times. I was like, oh my, like, me and my roommate called it. We were like every time she looked at me, like, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, if we wanted to take, like, oh my gosh, it was so stupid. It was so funny. But literally the most frustrating part, and the funniest thing too, I was like, look, if they don't win, if Travis or whatever her boyfriend name is, if he doesn't win the Super Bowl, she's gonna break up with him and she's gonna make an album. Like, that's what he was saying.
Yeah.
And if he wins, then he's gonna propose to her. But they won, and I was like, okay, we're waiting. I feel like everybody was waiting for him to propose. Like they were, the camera and everything was setting up to the way that they were, like it was gonna, like he was gonna propose, but he never did. And I just sat there that night, and I was just like, I was robbed.
But
I was robbed of the experience.
Because somebody was saying that she was saying guilt of the telling the camera to go away.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because she's like, oh wait, like because the camera was on the whole time. She was even with Ice Spice too. I was just like, what is happening?
I wish that was me on there. Well, one day I'm gonna be big and go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, one day, man, one day.
Yeah, one day, and then the same with Beyonce, of course.
Oh my God! Wait, she did perform, didn't she? At the Super Bowl, did she?
No, she did a commercial.
A commercial. Who performed?
Yeah, Usher.
That's, oh my gosh, that's
Usher,
right.
you know I'm a fan of Usher. So.
Yes,
Usher from Texas,
so
Beyonce from Houston, Texas. Yeah. And I like to look at her story because she came from Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
She was part of a girl group, Destiny Child.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Before she came in, I'm like, I did have a dream one day that I was going to interview her on my podcast. I'm like, she don't do interviews.
Hey, you never know. You never know. It might happen one day. She might be like, okay, I want to interview again. And then, oh, right here. I'll interview. And then there you go. You know?
Yeah, man, I was almost hesitate to go to a concert because I had friends that went to a concert.
Yeah?
Yeah, and they say the concert was good even though she came out an hour late or 2 hours.
Oh, wow. Dang. No, yeah, I don't go to a lot of concerts. I haven't been to a lot of concerts, though. I mean, the only person that I probably would go to as far as the people, like the performers that I like would be either NF or The Weeknd, because I mean, like,
everybody like The Weeknd.
I mean, yeah, of course. He's like,
The
yeah, no, The Weeknd is popping. Like, I don't know, he's not as popular as right now, but I mean, it's just laying low. Taylor Swift is mostly the one that's popular right now.
Taylor Swift, you not gonna see
her. Yeah, no, like she has.
But yeah, I think she coming to Baton Rouge in September. I mean,
really?
Yeah. New Orleans, I think. I might want to go see her.
Hey, you might as well go get her autograph, get that VIP.
I don't think she gonna look my way.
It's on my hat.
Because like with Beyonce, I'm like, man, everybody in line at the Grammys, everybody in line at these celebrities, big name celebrities lining up to take pictures with her.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. And she don't even come to our awards show, the BET Awards.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, yeah. I would love to meet more celebrities. You don't see a lot of celebrities, here.
Oh, man, that's why I did meet a couple celebrities. A couple. And then I also was talking to them on Instagram Live, too.
Really?
Yeah.
What celebrities did you meet?
So this is one celebrity, Monique. I don't know if you heard about Monique, but she was acting in a couple of movies with Tyler Perry, and then she have a show called The Parkers.
Okay.
So she won a black actor. And then I also had talked to her other one that's big. She was on 21 Jump Street. Her name's Holly Robinson Pete. We was talking on Instagram Live.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, a couple of celebrities, and let's see. Then the gospel artist that was on Tyler Perry's Mutama Man and David Man. I know them because they know my family.
You know Tyler Perry?
I don't know Tyler.
I was like, what? I was like, yo, give me his number.
That's who I want to work with, is Tyler Perry.
I was like,
I know one of the, because one of the actor, Tamara, man, she grew up here in Fort Worth. I went to her uncle's church, so that's how I know their connection. So,
holy cow.
Yeah.
Small world.
Of course, I have recently interviewed a celebrity, but he not that big a celebrity, though. He like a B celebrity, C celebrity.
It's still a celebrity. I mean, still there. I mean, no, that's cool. I mean, I never met a celebrity, honestly. It's kind of crazy. I'm an actor. I've never met a celebrity. I've met, that's not true. I've done sets with actors, but it's not really meeting a celebrity at that point. It's just work.
Right? It's not really like that starts to like, because me, when I met a I was like, And I'm like,
You're
how
like,
you doing, baby?
you're like, what's up? Can I get a picture? And I'm like, sure, why not? He was like,
Yeah, it was Monique. She was at Walmart promoting her new movie, Fat Girls.
mm-hmm.
We were like, one of my family members was like, yeah, we got the same birthday. I ate her saying she was like, how you doing? Hey, baby, how you doing?
That's
I was like,
you're like, she called me baby, bro.
I was like, ugh.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
I'd be so stuck. It probably would be the same thing when I see Beyonce. Probably.
Just starstruck. You can't say nothing. You're like,
I was like, is this actually Beyonce or somebody that look like her?
You're like, nah, I'm just a wish version of Beyonce. You're like, oh really? Okay.
I mean, you have people.
No, yeah, I'm like, dang, like, no, I'm excited to meet because the thing is, like, odds are probably me when I meet celebrities, which I will definitely meet some celebrities one day. Like, I'll probably meet them on set, like the best case scenario. Like that'd be awesome. And like at that point, I'm like, that's really cool. Like that to me is a win-win. I'm on set with big actors and I'm meeting celebrities. My biggest fans. Like or I'm their biggest fan, I guess. But no, it's like it's so cool. Like that would be so cool. Because I mean, I got an autograph, or not me directly, but someone actually met Shia LaBeouf
Oh
in
man,
in a Rudy's or like some restaurant or whatever, and she got his autograph on some napkins and gave them to me and one of my brother, I think. But no, like I didn't even see him. But
He's a legend.
Yes, he is. I was like, what?
I remember when he was on this show, Even Stevens.
Yes. Oh my gosh, he was in Transformers. Was the biggest one for me.
Yeah.
Like I watched that growing up. Like that was the biggest thing that I knew him from. So I was like, Shia LaBeouf, like that's so cool. That's Sam. What?
Yeah, and Megan Fox was on there.
Yes, like oh my gosh, Megan Fox was the girl in the early 2000s. I was like, I want her, like childhood crush, like right off the bat, like
Megan Fox. Well, I had known her from this show Hope and Fate. That she was on there as a teenager.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like, and then also if you heard of Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg, is the actor or
she's an actor.
Actor? I haven't heard of her. Where's she in?
She was on, the movie. She was on tons of movies like Sister Act and all that.
Okay.
Like she was in like tons of movies. She a legend.
Okay.
But she currently on the talk show The Beauty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
I was like, man, I'm just like, this is where I want to be. That man, I almost was there as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I was almost there. I remember 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I did, man, to an audition. I sung and then I act, but I did not. And they paid me to do.
Yeah.
Because this is what I was doing. I was saying the song Seven Heaven theme song. That show Seven Heaven.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. No, yeah, like those auditions are funny. Like there's some auditions that you do that you're just like, that was horrible. Oh my gosh. Like, or auditions that you're like, okay, that was great. Like I remember I had an in-person audition. I think it was my very first in-person audition, and it was for an action film that actually we're about to release a trailer for that. So stay tuned. But so I'm a stuntman in this film. But for this one, I remember when I auditioned, it was pretty intense because like they walked me out and there was this table and they had the actor right here. Actually, the main director was Peter Pham. That's the main actor. He's a big actor in Vietnam, but he's pretty big here. Not super big, but he's definitely noticeable for sure. But so he I know him personally actually because he actually trained me along with his other students in martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I knew that I've known that he was an actor making movies for a while. And I was like, hey, Peter, like, or Sifu, I would love to be in one of your movies or audition. He's like, yeah, I'm having my film here, audition, come in, blah, blah. So I sent it in, blah, blah. And they're, all right, cool, come on by. And so I walked in through the audition process. They asked for my slate. And I was like, okay, I live here, this and that. They asked for my representation. I was like, I don't have any. I'm just here on my own will. And they said, okay, cool. And then they said, okay, for the first 30 seconds, we want you to do your moves and whatever and do your actions. And I was like, okay, like kicks, like flying, like if I can do a backflip, do a backflip. And I was like, okay. And there was like 5 or 6 people, like, or more, like directors, writers, like everyone right there just watching me. And I was like, okay, here we go. So I did my moves, actions. And then he said, now I want you to react as far as like getting shot. So I was like, "You're gonna like shoot me?" I didn't say this. But I was like, "He's gonna shoot me?" Like what? And so what he did was he sat in the chair and he's like, "Okay, here's the gun. I'm gonna shoot you in the shoulder. I want you to react." And I said, "Okay." He said, "Bam!" And I was like, "Oh!" And I did reaction. And he was like, "Oh, okay, good." And then he's like, "I'm gonna shoot you in the leg. You ready?" And I said, "Okay." He's like, "Bang!" And I did the movement. And he was like, "Okay, now I'm gonna shoot you in the head." And I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Bang!" And then I did it. And he was like, "Okay."
Yeah,
And then so we did that, but it was intense because I was just like my very first in-person audition. I was like the intensity behind it. That's why like after COVID, auditions for online are amazing because I can do like the camera right here, just do the audition by myself or with a reader, send it in. I can send it to LA, Atlanta, wherever, and then if I get it, they fly me out. If I don't, then okay, cool. But that's why it's like I don't have to fly out all the way to wherever for at least the first audition.
Yeah.
But it's intense because the auditions in person are like, okay, like the pressure is on, like there's no second chance.
They be looking those cats.
We're watching you, every one of your moves. We're looking.
Yeah, it's something. So yeah, are you planning on like staying here in Texas to like continue,
For now, yes. I think starting off right now, I mean, I can't afford to move to LA or anything like that. So I think that's the indicator. But Texas is actually popular right now. I mean, as far as like Dallas goes, like it's more popular and for like commercials, all that kind of stuff, like modeling shoots. Like as far as like films, like there are decent films in Dallas, but that's like all the good films are like Atlanta, New York, LA, that kind of stuff.
Because the show Dallas used to, the TV show Dallas.
Yeah, it's just Dallas doesn't have the budget a lot for that stuff. But I mean, I would say right now I will stay in Texas because it's affordable. I know everyone here. I like the environment. I mean, it gets too hot a lot of times. That's the only thing I don't like about it. But as far as like staying here, because like the thing with I was talking about the auditions, right? If I want to audition for something in LA, I'll audition for it, and if I get it, they'll just fly me out. They'll give me a hotel, everything. Like I don't need to live in LA right now.
Oh, yeah.
When I start getting more serious and really getting up there, then I think I might have to call it and say, okay, like depending on what my agent would say, or my future agent. I don't have an agent right now, but my future agent would say, or like in the industry manager, whatever they say, okay, we need you to move to LA because it makes more sense. Then I'll do it. At that point, it's like all in because LA is like, But right now, I think living in Texas is fine.
Yeah, Texas one of the best states ever.
Yeah.
But some people move to New York and down Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, like with some people, like if you want to move to go to school or like something like that, then it's totally doable. Like I'm not saying like if you move like right off the bat, it's the end of the world, but I'm just saying you have to weigh it out, and say, okay, like am I serious about this? Am I not serious about this? What am I gonna do? What am I not gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah, man, of course, this is like with music, most people will move to Nashville, Tennessee if they want to do music and all that.
Yeah, you just gotta know where to go.
Yeah, so even though it's an acting episode, we talking about, but it can be also competitive business too, because you having like a lot of people, like 10 people audition for that part.
Or more. Like for some roles, you'll have hundreds of people audition.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. Like a lot of people don't understand is that like when you're auditioning, like it's not just like you and like a handful of guys. Like sometimes like if it's for a smaller thing like a student film or maybe some short film, you might have a handful of people, right? So you have a better chance of getting the role. But when you're auditioning for the huge roles, like you have like hundreds, maybe even thousands of people. Like thousands is kind of crazy, but it's like you hundreds of different actors that look just like you. Look just like you. So it's like you have to think like, how am I gonna stand out compared to these other guys that look exactly just like me? You have to find out what makes you unique to you. Like me, like Dougie, whatever you want to call me. There's only one me, right? I'm unique to myself. Like there's no one like me, and that's what makes me unique to this industry, unique to these different roles, because there's no one like me. And I have to bring out that uniqueness and show the audience, show the casting directors, and say, hey, look, like, this is why you should hire me, because you will find no one else like me.
Yeah.
And that's the secret. I mean, amongst other things, but it's like, you have to present yourself as, okay, like, there's something different and unique about me. That's different than these other people.
Yeah. And then as far as, cats and babies, and mostly they would like had twins to play that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they would have to like because they saying like if they babies, kids, they cannot work a amount of time.
Yeah, I'm honestly like extremely impressed by child actors. Like I'm no, like the young actors, like even like babies is different, but it's like
Yeah.
3, 4, 5 year olds or like even 6, 7 year olds. I'm
Shout
just
out
like,
to Mary Kay and Ashley.
yeah, I know, right? No, I'm impressed. Like I'm just like man, like it's just the level of commitment these kids have is just impressive. I've always been impressed by child actors. It's incredible the amount of skill that they have to have, and that they do have. It's phenomenal. I'm like wow, it's crazy.
Yeah, they do it from childhood, and then they get to their adult year. They be like, we don't want. Well, son and them, they be like, we don't want to do it no more. We want to just go into a other industry. But the sad part is, I know a couple of actors. They went the wrong direction. They lose their money and get on drugs and all that.
That's why, like, for me, I am super grateful because a lot of people are like, I should have gone into it earlier. I should have gone in as a child. I would say enjoy your childhood. Like, I would say this, like, my kid, he's not going to be in this industry, like, when he's, like, young. Like, no. Like, there'll be age limit, like, okay, like, you are X certain amount of age, whatever age we decide, that then you can start being in this industry. Because it's, like, for me, like, I'm so grateful to God that I had this childhood that I had. Because, like, the thing is, like, if you go into this industry when you're so young, like it spoils you. It makes you a different person.
Yeah.
Especially like I'm so glad I had a time to figure out my relationship with my family, my friends, with God. Like that is the biggest thing. Like if you're not able to find yourself in who you are, like especially like if you go into this industry, right? And like I'll give you an example. So like you know the movie Captain America, right?
Yeah.
So when Steve Rogers was, you know, he was obviously the lowest of the low as far as the ranks. He was the weakest guy. And then he was talking to the doctor, right, who was giving him the serum, and he was like, I'm not looking for a perfect soldier, I'm looking for a good man. Because when the serum, when you get it, it amplifies you it's a magnifier who you will become, right? So if you as a person are not a great person or really struggle with greediness or selfishness and you go into this industry, get money, famous, all that kind of stuff, it will mess you up.
Yeah.
It'll mess you up. That's why, like, for me, like, and again, you always need to work on yourself, always, right? Always, God-given. And that's why, like, look, before I really was serious about getting into this industry, because before I got into this industry, I actually went to acting class and I was like, I don't know if this is for me now. And I took a break. And I took a break for like 6 months or so. And I was like, okay, like, I don't know if this is what I want. I tried to get into business. It wasn't for me. And at that time, I went through a lot of character development. I went through a lot of my relationship with God, really seeing where I stood as a person, right? And I was like, okay, like I now see what I want to do with this career and who I am as a person. And I went for it. And I was like, okay, like now I'm able to understand. But you really need to have yourself rooted in Christ and rooted in yourself.
Yeah.
If you're not able to do that, then you're gonna lose yourself in this career.
Yeah.
Like anything you do, especially going after a career like this, you will lose yourself like that. You need to be able to know that you are defined and that you are able to survive without these things, because at the end of the day, this whole acting thing, everything, it's just a job. It's just a job. It's not your life. It is just a job.
Yeah, and like I said, I feel sad about those childhood stars.
Yeah.
Orlando Brown and all them, and Amanda Barnes, because Amanda Barnes such a good actor. She was in Actress, but she was in the show All That, and then she had her own show, The Amanda Show, and that show What I Like About You back in the day. But I was like, man, I feel bad where she at right now. You know, she's a totally different person.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's what happens when you don't have God center in your life.
Yeah.
It's just when you put these things, when you look at money in your life, and just, you know, money leads to all kinds of roots of evil. It's not. Oh, sorry, the love of money leads to all kinds of roots of evil. I'm not saying money is evil, but it's saying like all the love of these worldly things will tear you apart.
Yeah,
you know,
because some of these celebrities, they go to church Scientologist church, and then this cult and all that.
No, just going to church every Sunday doesn't make you good. And even if reading your Bible every day, praying, whatever you gotta do, it's like it doesn't, like, it's the continual heart of repentance and living your life accordingly to Christ. You know, like, I mean, I'm a sinner, you're a sinner, you're a sinner, everyone's a sinner, right?
Yeah.
Everyone. And it's just constantly trying to live that life of repentance and saying, you know what, like, I sinned, I messed up, whatever it might have been, I hurt this person, hurt myself. Okay, great. I'm gonna move on. Look at what I did wrong, assess it, understand it, repent, humble yourself, and move on and grow. That's the best thing you can do, especially in this career when you feel like an idiot when you do stuff that's wrong. Like this career, like this industry, the amount of just continual like feeling like you're a failure, being hurt, being pushed down. It's like you have to accept pain. You have to accept the hurt because it will help you grow in so many ways. You always have to have the mindset of a student because if you do, you'll be able to soar like crazy.
Yeah. So I was saying that because these celebrities, they was part of this sensitivity church. The sensitivity church, they don't believe in God. They believe in, you know, the universe and all that. And I'm like, man, that's not a good church to be a part of.
It ain't a church.
God sensitivities, and they say it was a whole lot of stuff that went on.
Yeah, no, it's just, you know, you have, God gave us free will to do what we want. I mean, you can either follow him or not. You know, it's up to you. That's why, like, no one should ever force people to, you know, love God or to go after what they want, go after him. But it's like, look, like, you either, like, in my opinion, like, my life has been so much better. And, like, everything that's happened, like, how I progressed with acting, my life, my mental state, everything. Like, it is not a coincidence. Like, God has been with me, and he is still with me. He's with people. You know, people who seek him, he'll help them. He'll bless them. Knock, the door shall be open. Ask, and you shall receive, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, people don't have God. People don't understand that, like, when you have God centered in your life, all these things will play out because God will provide for you. You know, he will.
Yeah, you have to put your trust in him more. And read your word every day. It's what we be talking about on this episode. But yeah, that's what we have to do, you know. It's tough. A lot of things been happening, of course. But, you know, we definitely got to depend on God, especially during these days and times. With everything. Put him first with everything that you do.
Yep. Yeah, because, I mean, without him, like, it literally said this in, I think, Ecclesiastes? Yes, or Ephesians. No, Ecclesiastes. It said, like, when you go after the world and all these things that leave you empty, you know, it's like, it's worthless. You know, like, if there was no God, if there was no purpose, you know, for him, like, everything is meaningless. You know, God is number one, always.
Yeah, and then thing, I know I'm trusting, you know. And we a part of the ICOC church. So, and a lot of people sit there saying it's a cult. So.
I mean, whether you go to our church or another church, I mean, it is something that I'm learning more as I get older and I talk to other Christians, the people that go to other churches, is that, like, there's no one church that's the church.
Yeah.
You know, there are multiple different churches that are good. Like, I've met other Christians, I have great friends that are not part of my church that are devout men of God, and I'm like, dude, like, you're a good man. You know, you're a devout man of God.
Did you grow up in the church?
I grew up in the church, yeah. I grew up in our church. So, I mean, like, again, like, no church is perfect. You know, it doesn't matter where you go. Yeah. Every church has their flaws. You just have to be able to ask yourself if you're willing to work with them or not.
Yeah, because I thank the Lord to come back because I left. This was back in 2019. I left our church for 4 months, I think. I went to another church and I did not like it, so I came back. It has not been, you know, it's not pretty peaches and cream at our church.
Nope.
But I'm going to stick with it. You know, so,
whatever church works for you, you know?
Yeah, whatever church, as long as you go to church. Because my family, they go to a different church. So,
yeah. I mean, like, you find your church, you find your place. I mean, there's no judgment for anyone at all. It's like you find what fits your needs.
Yeah.
You know, simple as that.
I just don't want to be that type of person. Oh, our church is the only true church. And
if you don't go to our church, you're damn the hell. You're done. I'm like, all right, buddy, bye.
Like, Cause like people, if they want to go to their church, let them go. Long as their church teach the right thing. Because a lot of these church, especially these mega churches, they not teaching the right thing. They just teach their stuff that's, you know, that's not biblical.
It's just, like I said, like, you gotta find the right church, the right people. People will just look at the word and just say what they think and not really look at the whole context behind it. But it's just, you have to look at the whole thing.
It was one preacher on there. He was saying, would God worship us? I was like, what the? I would not be going to that church.
God loves us and God admires us a lot, but, like, no, like, we worship him.
Yeah. So, do you see yourself like playing like Christian movies? Like,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a Christian, yeah, for sure. I mean, like I would love to play some Christian roles. I think I have a lot of roles that I'd love to play. I love to be like in action films, drama films, thriller films, all that kind of stuff. But it's like a good Christian film that I'd like to note that is a good example is the Book of Eli. Have you ever heard of that with
the
Denzel Washington?
Book of Eli.
With Denzel Washington.
I think it's been a long time
It's
since
yeah, it's an older
watched
movie,
it.
but
Yeah.
it's a Christian-based movie, and basically it's about this Denzel Washington. He has the only Bible in the world, and the whole world was like it collapsed due to the war, and the sun got like hot and it scorched the earth. That's why they have to wear sunglasses because they'll like get blinded if they look at the sun directly or whatever. But it's basically about that this Washington, he's trying to find a place to put this Bible to share the knowledge that it has, and people will want it because they burnt all the Bibles in the world because of the power that it held. It's like movies like that that's like apocalyptic, it works out, but it's like it's powerful. Like
Yeah.
I'd love to be movies like that like really showcase that, and even like other movies that may not be directly correlated around like a Christian movie, but like have Christianity or like aspects of understanding God in those movies.
Yeah, family movies.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like
Yeah.
I love being all kinds of movies.
Yeah. Because of course we got the Christian app called Gray America Perfects. That's the name of the Christian movie. But yeah, I would love to do some Christian movies. And I mean, I don't mind doing secular movies, but I'm gonna have to cross the line though. I am not gonna do no bed scenes and scenes with kissing anybody on there. Like, I mean, I would love to act in soaps, but it's gonna have to be boundary. I'm not really. I can be the delivery guy. Who knows?
I'll be the delivery guy. I'll deliver the milk.
I can be like one of the person that works at the delivery stuff at the hospital or something.
Yeah, I mean, you decide. You're an actor. You can decide what you want to do.
But one thing is, you're not gonna see me in bed with nobody and kissing them and just what people do. And I know actors, they had to, like, I don't know what is it. Actors had to, like, some actors, they would prefer them to like be shirtless and.
Yeah, it's some big actors too will like not do scenes like that. Like some big actors, because they're like, I'm married, I got kids, like I'm not gonna do that. Like I don't want to do a scene like that. Like you have to list yourself of what you will or will not do and just stick to it. I mean, you have to be realistic too about certain things you're auditioning for, but also it's just you make your lines and what you will want to do and just stick to it. Like I'm loving these people. I'm not saying I agree with what they're doing, but I'm saying that I'm loving them because that's what we're called to do, because that's what I want to show people, right?
Yeah.
So it's like these people do these things. Like I don't agree with all of it, but it's like you can do what you want. I'm not gonna support it, but it's like like I will be your friend. I will love you because that's what Christ calls us to do.
And the same with the political thing. A lot of people had a preference, I think we should not be fighting somebody over because they has a political, they won't be Democrats.
Yeah, if you're Democrat, okay, gotta go. No, I'm kidding. You're like, no, I agree.
You say I'm a Democrat?
No, I was making an example. No, I'm joking. No, it's like,
I'm on the right.
Oh my goodness.
But
people,
people, they, for some reason, people wearing friendships over that political stuff.
It's ridiculous. It's just an opinion. I'm like, you're a Democrat, Republican.
Yeah.
Who cares? Like, that's your opinion. I'm not gonna like, you're a whole friend, you're a whole person. Like, it's so ridiculous that people view politics more over
everything. It's just like they don't have a current. Man, I was talking on Sunday. I'm saying, whatever happened to people having fun and not be worrying about what's going on, like on your phone and all that. Where we used to like sit down and talk or watch something on TV. Like me and my family, like my cousin invited me over to his house, with my family over to the house, the rest of the family. We was watching the Olympics. We was enjoying it. We was talking all that. It was like the back in the day how we did, sitting down and watching TV and not be on our phones that much.
Yeah, good old days. Yeah. No, yeah. My parents got rid of cable a long time ago because it just got too expensive. But I didn't watch the Olympics. But I mean, I saw Tom Cruise falling from the thing, and he's bringing the flag to one of the people, I think. I was like, dang, that dude's crazy, but it's pretty cool.
So do y'all still like got TV up in there?
Yeah, no, I don't live with my parents, but like they got rid of cable because it was just they wanted expenses in other places. But it's like
that's why I got the screaming thing, the red TV screaming. Why I can make the decision if I want to watch a streaming service thing or if I want to watch YouTube or watch a couple of cable. Because me person, I watch Lifetime movies because one day I want to work with Lifetime. And the Lifetime movies from back in the day was 10 times better because they was white and all that. Yeah.
Dang.
But Lifetime, it's a good thing because people want to know what's going to happen, keeps you suspense. Oh, with this person, even because you don't know who's the villain up in the movie. Be like, oh, they the villain. Oh, he going to come after my my husband, the monster. But yeah, we don't know who's the villain. Just like twins, like somebody playing twins and all that. They had the evil twin. I'm like, how do they do that for somebody to be playing twins?
It takes skills. Like it takes a lot of skills to do that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just acting another character. That's what people like. If you were thinking, it's like how they do the twins and stuff. I'm like, I mean, it's just like. What is it? Tom Hardy, he did that. He played twins one time in a movie, and he did a phenomenal job. But it's like, it's just acting, like, you know?
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, I definitely appreciate you for being on this episode, Real Talk with Shawn Smith.
Of course.
Acting Talk Edition Part 2.
So
can you tell people where they can find you on social media?
So you can find me on social media. My username is Dougie3_Sexton. Or whenever this comes out, he can just tag me in it as well.
Yeah.
But you can find me on Instagram, Facebook. I have a TikTok, not as on that as much. But so that's where you can find me. I try to post some work on there so you guys can see a little bit of what I do. But I am an actor, stuntman, and model. That's what I do. But thank you for inviting me on this podcast. I had a lot of fun talking about lots of different topics, acting, movies, a little bit of politics, tiny bit, but not too much. They're like, all right, little pot, tap it in there, okay, out of there. But thank you for having me be a part of this. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. And like I was saying, I will be rebranding the podcast, so I'm gonna be changing the logo and all that, and better content though. So what I'm gonna do, hopefully, be in a different studio and have microphones and all that.
Yeah,
and you can come there again.
Yeah, whenever you have me.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all for watching this episode, Real Talk with Shawn Smith. Be sure to catch new episode on Fridays on YouTube. Subscribe to the Real Talk with Shawn Smith's YouTube channel. So y'all take care and see y'all on the next episode, Real Talk with Shawn Smith. Bye, y'all, and y'all come back now.